Hey guys, welcome if you're just hopping on. I don't see anybody on yet. Hey, there's a couple people. Welcome if you're just here. We are starting seeds today. I thought I would take you guys along with me. I'm starting seeds. I'll show you what I'm starting. I'm also organizing seeds and getting things put away. But it is seed starting time, guys. It is time. We have so many that I need to work through over here. All right, we're gonna start all these. I'll show you what I'm starting in a minute. I'm putting them off to the side. And we can talk about all of those. Let me know how everybody's doing today. What's everybody up to? Tomatillos. It's not quite time for tomatoes yet. I'm gonna give those another week. Ground cherries. I'm gonna be doing a ton of ground cherries this year. Hey there. Hey, Sheila. Oh, ground cherries are so good. I'm wondering. Okay, let's put the tomatillas. We're organizing seeds, and I'm getting seeds started. And I thought we would, we got huckleberries. I thought we would discuss seed starting, discuss tariffs, discuss preparing. What do we need to be doing? The cost of things is about to go through the roof. I just grew a bunch of these, so I'm going to table those. This is how I do my seeds, although I can't say I love it. It's not helping me to stay organized. It somewhat helps. It should help, but maybe it's me that's the problem. Maybe I am the problem because I don't put them back where they go. Welcome if you're just hopping on. We're just hanging out today. I don't really have anything super important to discuss. So I thought I would take you guys along. I'm organizing, trying to get my act together in here in this garage and get our seeds organized. I'll show you what I'm doing with my old seeds and how you can save those. I'm gonna plant those in my raised beds. Daikon radish are the most amazing ever. All right, so what I'm doing is getting all of my different seeds put into in the containers they're supposed to go in, because they're not in the containers they're supposed to go in, so that I know what we have so that we can be prepared. If you're just hopping on, welcome. If you're new here on Stuff, and we grow our own food using hydroponics, aeroponics. This is my hydroponic. I'm about to clean the harvest wall, and I'm going to get that going. I have a new harvest wall coming, another one. Are the farmer going to have a hard time planting this year because of the soil? Absolutely, Sheila. Also, oh no, you got pneumonia. Yeah, we got sick. We got that flu that was going around, and I heard a lot of people it was turning into pneumonia. So we were like hitting it with everything possible, and thankfully, it didn't stick in the lungs. Yeah, so with the farmers this year, we got problems with the soil, but we've got problems that the tariffs are going to be a big deal. So the tariffs are going to affect all costs, even if it's grown in America, because a lot of our resources aren't grown in America. So we have that issue of that, even if it's grown here. These are all my dwarf tomatoes. I think I need to grow some tomatoes. I think I'm going to do a whole tower, just dwarfs this year, to get rid of some seeds. So even if we have things that are grown here in America, hold on, I'm going to get a chair. Much better. We're still going to have really high costs of things, guys. So what I'm doing to hedge hedge protection around that, I'm going to do an Azure haul for you guys this week. My Azure comes next week. And I'll do a pantry tour and show you guys my bucket systems and everything. But we're just stocking up because worst case, all tariffs don't happen. And so what? We have supplies. Best case, not worst case. But worst case is they do. And we want to make sure we have that savings account of those things that we're going to use now. So I ordered all of my solution for my tower gardens. I'm thankful y'all are better. This may be a dumb question, but are Dollar Tree seeds okay to use? Supposedly they're non-GMO. I've been using grow pots if you raise beds. They're okay, Cindy. It's not, you are always going to do better with not bulk. You guys are not behaving. It is better to not buy from the big companies like Walmart's and the Dollar Trees and stuff. Those seeds come from typically, well, it depends. It's not terrible, but there are much better quality seeds. I guess it depends what are you growing, because some, if they say non-GMO, that doesn't really mean anything, because GMO seeds, you can't actually buy GMO seeds unless you're a farmer and you are like licensed to do so. What can happen is, like, if they're growing seeds in a certain area and there's someone near them growing a GMO seed, it can contaminate and you can get a hybrid. That can happen. So yeah, I mean, I guess it just depends. I think if they're growing fine, it's fine. Determinate tomatoes. I'm just organizing my seeds, guys. We have so many seeds, and I thought I would hang out with you guys, talk about how do we prepare for the tariffs. What does that look like? I was looking up a list of things it's going to affect. It will affect the food. It's definitely going to affect animal products because of the feed issues, and it will affect gas. The biggest things I think we're going to see are the food. Like the stuff from China, like the clothes and all of that, it'll affect all that eventually, but that's such a small portion. I think where we're really going to see it is in the food and the everyday items, because of all of the packaging and everything that comes from overseas. Even if the food, 33% of our food comes from Mexico, and that's a lot. It's actually kind of shocking. I didn't realize that. All right, these are mini romaines. We're going to get those started. I'm in Indiana and wanted to start some cool weather veggies soon. Yeah, so what I'm starting right now, I am starting all my bok choys. I'm starting Emiko cabbage. You guys didn't empty Dad's truck. Yeah, I'm starting Emiko cabbage. I'm starting kohlrabi, collards, all my cool weather crops I'm getting started. Right, supposedly rolled them back. Did they get rolled back again, Sheila? Because I was hearing this week they were back on. Do you do deep barrel hydroponics for root veggies? Actually, I don't, CJ. I use just raised hugelkultur beds for my root veggies. There's 50% bee colony collapse this spring. I know, I heard the bees are going, there's a lot of stuff going on, guys. I haven't been in it fully lately, but a lot of stuff. We had a lot of toxic events too around our farms. So you have California with all the fires and all of the toxic dust coming from those fires. This is kale. And, you know, we had the floods, and then we had the floods in the other parts of the country. So grow some of your own food if you can, for sure. And it's always smart. It just gives us that extra hedge of protection, right? That little bit of self-sufficiency that we can really just have in place. So what I've been doing is just, and I always do this, I'm preparedness minded. I make sure I have all my seeds that I want to have for the year, plus a store in case. And then I went ahead and ordered enough rock wool for the year, and any net pots, actually more like a year and a half, and then all my solution and everything. So we just have it here. And so it's ready to go. So if we need food, we've got it. Oh, these are sweet. These are Merlot Chinese cabbage. So they're a Napa cabbage, but they're purple. We're gonna start those. I'm pulling out the seeds. I'm gonna show you any seeds that are older that I don't really want. I'm putting in this jar. And then when I get my raised beds going next week, I will just heavily seed these and we will turn them into baby greens. Bee colony collapse, he paused again until April 2nd. Okay, so no tariffs until April 2nd. What does he want? I don't even know why there's tariffs. I haven't even been following. But I know, I thought it's not us having tariffs. Canada just put tariffs on us. I thought that's what happened. But let me know in the comments because I am out of the loop. I will tell you that. I do this anyway. Like, I live in preparedness, so I'm not doing it because of that. I did stock up on a few extra things just in case. I did make sure to get like all my solution for the year for growing, just to keep that cost down. But we do this anyway. Oh, these are good. Piccolino. These are a really great cucumber. Yeah, 4 trillion in debt, not sustainable at all. We got the issue though. He paused again the very next day. Okay, they're so funny. We got the issue. There's a problem. If we do go through tariffs, right now our unemployment's going to go up because of all the stuff going on, which is, it needs to be cut. But when you've got unemployment and you've got higher inflation of things, so if we do get the tariffs, the higher inflation, and then you've got low economic growth, that's stagflation. That can be a problem. That's actually a really bad thing. So that's all right. We prepare anyway. We don't want to rely on these broken systems that who knows what's going to happen today, tomorrow, the next day, right? These are Little Gem. These are so good. They actually grow pretty slow, but they are delicious. Let me know what questions you guys have for growing your own food. There's a link in my description if you want to see. Chaos is all, yeah, chaos for sure. Order out of chaos. That's how it goes. That's the name of the game, right? All right, let's get our mustards. All I'm doing is organizing our melons and organizing. Look at these moringa seeds. I am obsessed with moringa. We are going to do these. These are a dwarf moringa. I'm going to put those aside. These are a project we want to work on for sure. And I'm just going through all of our seeds and getting rid. I was sharing anything that is old goes in here, and I'm going to heavily seed one of my raised beds and just do some quick pop-up greens out of those. This is a beautiful lettuce. This is Pablo. I grow this all the time. I'm actually just going to finish off that seed package. And this happened in our country, it's going to be fixed. This has to happen in our country, it's going to be fixed. Yeah, and it's going to be like this, right? We're going to have a time where it's not going to be great. But if it's happening, I don't really care what happens politically, honestly. I could care less. But I do always want to make sure we are preparing with our home. Making sure we have everything we need and growing our own food, and we have that taken care of. These are hot peppers. All right, let me know if you guys have questions on what we're growing here. I am going through all of my seeds, and we are getting organized. Hopefully, that's the plan anyway. We got winter savory. I'm going to do a bunch of herbs this year. I just got a new tabletop herb growing system. It's so awesome. It is beautiful. It's on TikTok, and I know some people are not on TikTok. I was like super anti-TikTok. And then I got on there, and I actually really, really love it. Because it is things I use daily, and it's saving us a ton of money. It's all coming from China anyway, until we learn how to make things in this country again. Like I was paying $150 for my barefoot shoes. I can get them for $39 on TikTok shop. They're both made in China. I was just paying $120 premium to a company that's buying them from China for $30 and selling them to me for $120, which that's, I'm all for people making money in their business, but I need to have that money too, right? These are amazing. These you can't grow in the tower, but they're amazing. I grow those in my gardens. No matter what happens, it's all planned. Yeah, I agree. It's all planned. And it'll flip back and forth too. Loving fresh tomatoes. Are you still preparing your seedlings for your wall as you do for the towers? Yes, I'm about to do my whole wall. Today's going to be planted out. And actually, they're sending me a double-sided wall, so I'm going to have 3 going. Huge part of this, love my tower garden wall. So what I'm doing for my harvest wall, what I'm doing with those is starting all my seeds in the wall. That is one thing I have found, because I don't have a good setup over here for that kind of those grow pots. They're sending me a little grow thing, so they're going to have a grow table available, but I don't have that right now, and so I just find it's easier to just start them right in the harvest wall, which I don't recommend doing that in the tower, but in the harvest wall it works really great. And yeah, you know, whatever happens, like it's 4 years, 2 years, everything flip-flops so fast. All we can do is prepare our homes, learn to eat real food, get our homes in order. That is what we are always doing here. If you understand, it's here instead of us depending on. Yeah, I mean the goal with the tariffs is so that we gave away all of our skills to other countries, and we don't have those anymore. That is the point, which I think is smart. I'm totally a believer in that. The problem is we don't have those systems set up. We don't have manufacturing facilities. We don't have supplies. So there's going to be, it can't just happen overnight. Like if we get tariffs, we got to wait a while for tariffs before manufacturing companies, and then that'll create jobs, which will get us out of the situation because people need jobs now. But it's just going to take a hot minute. So get your supplies. All I'm doing is making sure we have a year plus of everything we need, so I don't have to pay those premiums. What I'll do, normally I replace as I use something. I won't do that. I just won't replace anything if the tariffs happen and the prices go up. I'll just wait a year and save the money and see what happens. I'm gonna get these. So this is a great example. These are pelleted seeds, a Salanova lettuce. They're really great, but your seed germination will go bad on a pelleted seed. So I'm gonna put those aside and try and germinate them. Beautiful green beans. So eventually, if we are creating more products here in our country, that would obviously be so amazing. But that's just not gonna happen overnight, for sure. We have vacant buildings, lots and lots of vacant buildings, especially around where I live. Yeah, I mean, we do have the infrastructure we used to have warehouses. We have empty warehouses everywhere in North Carolina. Look at this. Amaranth. We're going to grow that today. We're going to grow some endive. I'm pulling everything I'm going to start today. Look at those. Those look incredible. I just grew a bunch of these, so I'm going to hold off on those. Lettuce. I think I'll just put this over here. Actually, we're going to get rid of those too. What I'll do is heavily seed some of these. Tariffs. If food is being affected by tariffs, we should be concerned about unsafe food. Yeah, oh yeah, we need to be unsafe food. Our country's worse with the food, though, than other countries. In the way of what's being sprayed, we spray more on our food than other countries do. So we got to get it together with the food for sure. These are incredible too. Chinese Nagasaki's. I've had a lot of luck with those. Pole beans. I'm not going to do those. All right. We're going through our seeds. We're getting organized. We're getting ready to get the gardens going for the year. Making sure we're growing our own food and have everything we need stocked up. We do that anyway. Why did the pelleted seeds not germinate? So, Leanna, the pelleted seeds, what'll happen is they have a clay coating over them, and it will pull moisture out of the seed, and the seeds will go bad. And so that'll happen. Hey, children, the truck was never emptied. We'll do it. Okay. Putting the teenagers to work. There are a couple of questions. Oh, sorry, did I miss questions? I'm trying to work and see at the same time. Are you still preparing your seedlings for your wall? Yeah, I'm still preparing my seedlings for the wall. Love fresh tomatoes. Our wages are high because cost of living is high. Yeah, it's about to go up even more. Yes, indeed, we have lost so much. Okay, I think I got all the questions. Why do pelleted seeds germinate? Yeah, if I missed your question, ask again. Shelf life of pelleted seeds is 1 year. So if you have them more than 1 year, what I suggest is that you start multiple seeds in a rock wool and then thin them. If they take off, you can thin them. Oh, good. I'm glad you caught my live. Yeah. You know, there's nothing like raising your own food. And when things do get a little bit, like with the egg costs right now, which are crazy, it does motivate people to start growing their own food, which is what we need to do. So it's good. It gets people back to their roots. I think we should be in preparedness all the time. Living in preparedness, right? That is the best way. Having resources we can share with neighbors and friends is always going to set us up for more success. So what I'm doing is organizing all my seeds. Any seeds that are old go in here. And what I'll do is heavily seed one of my raised beds outside. And I'll just grow some microgreens with those. And that works really, really well. A lot of my seeds are old. Like all these spinach are really old. So I'm just going to toss those in a raised bed. It's time to refresh the seeds for sure. A lot of it I almost feel like just scrapping and starting over. I'm growing in my grow tower in my house. My squash and tomatoes are blooming. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I'm thinking about planting this year, but it starts later here than NC. Yeah. Tower power. Oh, scattering seeds. I love scattering seeds. Yeah, it's a great year. Well, I think any year is a great year to start growing your own food. How you use the mixed seeds for scattering. Oh, okay. Sorry. Thank you for helping me with the comments, guys. Do you thin them? No. So what I'm going to do is take all my seeds. Some are pelleted, some are not. And I'm just going to heavily seed a raised garden bed. And whatever comes up, and I will cut them as baby greens, little greens. And then that'll be it. The roots will stay in there to compost back. And so that helps to make sure, these are Salanova pelleted too. I'm going to try those. That will make sure, you know, we at least get what's still good out of those. And then those roots compost back in. I had a ton of luck with these last year, guys. Jelly melons, oh my gosh, they are so good. There's a few seeds left in here. These are important. Jelly melons did amazing. So that's what I'm going to do with that. Mammoth sunflower seeds. And then, you know, if nothing comes up, something will come up. Something always comes up. It's just a quick turnover. All right. Can you explain what you do with? Yeah, so what I do with my old seeds, Cheryl, is I take anything I feel that is old, like these Tom Thumb. I've had these for a long time. I know because I don't shop from this company, and I got these at clearance on their site. So they even look a little not right. I'm going to dump them in this jar. And then I'm going to shake the jar up. And I have a raised garden bed. Just little, I've got small little round ones. And I'm just going to heavily seed them in there and let them come up. And then whatever comes up, I'll just eat as little baby greens. And then I'm going to cut the roots, leave the roots in there to compost down to just further compost those beds and add some value to those beds. So it's just a quick turnaround. Anything that comes up is like bonus food. Otherwise, I consider them, you know, they're not, I don't want to use them for my towers. Hopefully that makes sense. So I'm going through anything that's older and just kind of organizing. And then I have these containers behind you and they'll say like spinach. It's time to do spinach here. I actually think I'm going to do a ton of spinach. I'm going to use all of this spinach because it's old on my harvest wall. And so we're going to get all of these going for our harvest wall. And these spinach needs to be cold stratified. So I'm going to plant them in the little containers. I'm actually going to put them outside for a couple of days. And then I'll put them in the harvest wall so they get that coldness. But that is what we're going to do with those. I just can't, hold on. I did change my channel name. We're talking about more than just towers now because I got my hydroponic wall and I'm doing a lot with mushrooms. I'm doing a lot with sprouting. So we're just making it more about homesteading in any space. A 5-tier planter, that's amazing. Linda, nice, you've changed your channel. I pollinated. Yeah, you have to pollinate your squash flowers if you're growing indoors. I don't consider seeds over a year old. Pelleted seeds over a year old, my 2 years is kind of my cap. After 2 years, if I didn't use them, they go into the jar of baby greens. I can just shake the tomatoes to pollinate. Yes, you have a video for beginners for the hydro gardening. Yeah, so Cindy, I have a free ebook. I put it in the description of this video. And I have lots of videos on my long form YouTube channel. It's very inexpensive to grow food on a tower if you learn to start your seeds. It's way more affordable than anything I was doing in the soil gardens. But you've got to invest in a tower first. So there is an initial cost. But then the overall, because I can grow year round. So if you guys look here, like I have tons of food right now. I actually just did a huge harvest. And because we can grow year round and I can grow lettuce for like 45 cents indoors, 25 cents outside, that's so much savings. You can't do that in a raised, like in gardening. Turnarounds depends on your weather. For me here in the spring, when I toss those seeds in, I'm going to have food in 5 weeks. Yeah, 4 weeks, 5 weeks. When I come down there, I always look forward to candy striped tomatoes. Yes, beautiful. So if you're just hopping on, we're just kind of hanging out today, guys. I'm going through and taking out old seeds, putting them in a jar, and I shared how I spread them out in one of my raised beds. They'll pop up in like 5 weeks, maybe even less, depending on how many warm days we get. And then I just cut them and leave the roots to compost back. This is winter squash. I'm just kind of cleaning house because it's gotten out of control. There's things in here that are like these. I don't even use this seed company hardly. So I'm going to scrap a lot of these patty pans. I didn't grow those. These I know are really old. I'm going to toss some of these. I'm going to plant these out in the forest, actually. Those 2 gourds out in the forest. Look at those. That I know is from last year. Spaghetti squash. This way I know what I need to purchase. So I can go through my seeds and make sure, go through my catalog today and make sure I have everything we need to get started. But these are really great. These store really well. I did grow them on the tower once too, and they did great. They're a kusha. They're really big. So you only need like 1, but those did really good. All right, so that's 1 more down. Thank you. I have some older seeds. Okay, I need to learn how to prune tomatoes. Okay, pruning tomatoes is easy. So there is no rule. There is literally no right or wrong. You can heavily, if they're indoors, you can heavily de-leaf them. Okay, so I have a tomato. I don't have a tomato I can show you. If there's 2 different types of tomatoes. There's determinate tomatoes. A determinate tomato has a set height. It's going to stop growing at a certain point. Whatever it puts off, that's the food it's going to grow. Those do amazing in the towers. Okay, so that's a determinate tomato. There's also a indeterminate. It's going to keep growing and growing and growing forever until it dies of some kind of disease. So with the determinate tomato, which is probably hopefully what you're growing indoors, you don't actually want to grow indeterminate tomatoes indoors. With determinate tomatoes, if you take off the suckers, so there's going to be a line here and a line here, and there's going to be a little stem that comes right out of that elbow. If you cut that, then you're going to decrease the amount of fruit you get, because that is the stem that the fruit grows on. So we don't want to cut those. What you want to cut is this leaf here, because it's going to be a leaf stem, and a sucker. You can get rid of those leaves and then just leave the sucker, and that's the one that's going to produce the food for you. So that's the best way to go about your pruning. And then if you need airflow because they're inside, you can, these are great. You can, they have a really high sugar count and they're so amazing. You can just clean out the leaves too. You can clean out the leaves and just give them airflow. It does not affect the tomato. It's interesting. They really don't care how much you cut off of a leaf or anything like that. Tomatoes are quite forgiving of things like that. A lot of these tomatoes are old. These are those little tiny tomatoes that we always talk about. Thank you for encouraging people to hit thumbs up. Welcome if you're just hopping on, guys. I'm literally just hanging out with you today while we're going through our seeds. What are your thoughts on these? They don't taste very good. I think I'm going to scrap them. They are thick. It's almost like they were bred to be so small at the cost of taste and texture. Should I throw them away? I don't know. I grow them every year, and sometimes I'm like, I kept them. I did. They need to go in my dwarf tomato category, though. If you're looking for dwarf tomatoes, there is actually a dwarf tomato society. And a dwarf tomato can be anywhere from 4 feet under. So don't underestimate the size of a dwarf. But these are, let me show you my dwarfs. These are a micro dwarf, okay? So these are super tiny. Let me put you guys behind the seeds. These are a micro dwarf. So they're tiny, tiny, tiny. What happens is they are bred for size more so than flavor and texture. And so they have a thicker skin and they can be a little bit like, but I still can't seem to let them go, and I still grow them every year. Heartbreakers. These are from Totally Tomato. Totally Tomato has what's called hanging basket varieties. They're fabulous. They are absolutely fabulous. And so they're determinant varieties, and then there's dwarf determinants, but theirs are actually tasty and really delicious. They also have a bush cucumber, which we want those for sure. So I think I am going to get rid of these. We have to just make wise choices. And how am I going to start? Look at all these tomatoes. Like, how in the world am I supposed to eat all of these if I have all of those too? I have 5 tomatoes right now on my harvest wall. And actually, I think I'm going to do these too, maybe. We're going to start those too. All right, and then these are all, Golden Nugget is a cherry determinant tomato. Heartbreakers, the Heartbreakers are the ones that are gonna have so many tomatoes on them. Little Birdie, Robin Red. And then these are all from Victory Seeds, which is actually where Tower Garden gets their seeds now. These are dwarf tomatoes, but they are more like a true tomato plant. They're not hanging basket varieties like Totally Tomato. So Totally Tomato are like hanging basket varieties, very small cherry tomatoes. These are like small tomato plants, but you are getting still a tomato that's big, or a decent sized tomato. All right, we got those started. Welcome if you're just hopping on. We're just literally hanging out, going through my seeds. Today I have to get this table cleaned up or I'm gonna cry because I have not, you guys know we got hit by that hurricane and life as we know it kind of took a turn, and I want my garage back. These are empty. Okay, we're gonna start one set for the harvest wall of those and one set of those. Yeah, if they don't taste good, don't bother. I know, I get so obsessed. Yeah, the tiny ones would be good pickled. What's the tastiest dwarf? That's tricky. Here's the thing with tomatoes. Tomatoes taste different based on their exposure to, well, acidity. Acidity affects them. Temperatures affect them. And then like what time of day you harvest them. So I sometimes will love a certain variety of tomato that grows here. And then the next season I'm like, meh. And then last year I would have some like next to each other. One tomato was incredible. And the next one was, So it's hard to say because I think it's more texture and like how many you can get is usually what I'm focused on, like what kind of tomatoes I want, slicing tomatoes. I like to have a lot of cherry tomatoes. I focus on that more than the taste because the taste is so back and forth. It can change on you in the drop of a hat. All right, so we have, these are old beets. We have some okra. Okra does amazing on the towers. I was super happy with the okra last year. Very, very happy with how the okra turned out. Oh, there we go. Parsley. Parsley is always a winner. To me, everything grows good there. Yeah, I'm still trying to grow 4 Parisian Lebanese cucumbers inside. Yeah, cucumbers inside are tricky. Oh man, they are tricky. Don't give up the fight. I'm about to start some. Actually, let's do that. We're going to start some for our harvest wall here. I'm going to do the piccolinis. Pretty sure piccolinis are ones you don't have to pollinate. Actually, we'll do our bush crop. I don't know. Let's do the piccolinis. They're just super finicky. So you may have great success and you may just not at all. Like here's the problem, guys. Look at how many I have. Parsley. Why do I have 5 packages of all the same, all open? We need to consolidate. 6. I love parsley. I go through a lot of parsley actually. And we've got some herbs here. This one's interesting. A minuet parsley is like a really, really ferny looking parsley. And then we've got 2 dills, which are amazing. All right, this is our kale bunch. And here's what we have left for kale, guys. And I'll show you what is. So Victory Seeds, they do Mylar bags. Your seeds are gonna last longer in Mylar bags. This is a Desert Dwarf Star. I don't remember anything about this particular tomato, so I'm not gonna start it. But what did we do with our tomatoes? Here we go. But it was in the kale bin. See, this is why we're getting organized. Okay, these are from Park Seed, and they always do Mylar too, so theirs do really well. Kale lacinato. What I'm gonna do with all these kale seeds, I'm literally just gonna heavily seed a rock wool with all of them and just knock them out as baby greens. Have you guys ever grown that? It is wild. It is massive. I grow them in my garden. I'm gonna toss these. These are gonna go in my garden right now, my outside garden. These are all tower gardens. These are older, so I'm gonna go ahead and heavily seed with those. Calibrations, I'm gonna heavily seed with those. And we're out of kale seeds, just like that. I've got three things of kale seeds. That's all that's left. And actually, yeah. So that's good news. We want to eat all the food, right? My aunt had a lot of problems with groundhogs eating her garden the last couple of years. Yeah, you know, groundhogs, I've seen them climb a tower. There's a girl who's a farmer here. She's a tower garden farmer. And she said it would sit on top of her tower and eat her tomatoes. I was like, heck no, we can't have that. Peas, I'm gonna start these because I have a trellis. I'm gonna do an entire tower of peas for this winter on my trellis. We're gonna start those today. These are the Tom Thumb peas. I have not been super happy with these at all. And I have so many, I was happy with them. All right, pulling them out. I wasn't gonna use them. Let's try them on the harvest wall. How about that? Here's another one. We're gonna start all of these right now, and we're gonna grow a whole tower, maybe even 2 of peas, because here's the thing, it's early in the season and the peas like the cold, and I can't grow the tomatoes until the peas are done. So I can get 2 towers of peas, put a trellis in between them. We will have so many peas, and then when they're done, it'll be tomato time. Okay, that's the plan. That's super exciting. All right, the pea bin's empty. My favorite kale, baby cucumber, these seeds are $1 each, supposed to be best for hydroponics. Oh, nice. I'll look those up. Unistar's F1 baby cucumbers. Thank you. That is awesome information. My favorite kale. My favorite kale is kale heavily seeded. I was trying to see if I had any. And curly. I like curly leaf kale. Like this. Well, that's Russian kale. I like Russian. I like purple kales, and I like curly leaf kales. I actually enjoy, these are all leeks. I actually enjoy, and onions. These all need to be started for the garden. This is all in soil stuff. I'll work on those. Actually, these all need to be started today. All right, we're going to pull those out. With kale, what was I going to say? I actually don't, I like endive better than kale. I like different greens better than kale. I don't know why, I just do. These are all green beans. Just so you know, green beans are pretty forgiving and germinate even if they're old. And it's not much of a risk to test them. I can put 3 per rock wool when the season comes and see how that goes. I'm not going to do any indoors on the harvest wall right now. They just do not like the cold, and they get kind of weird. Love peas. Yeah, I mean, how cool is it going to be to have 2 whole towers of peas with the trellises between them? I mean, what else are we going to eat? I mean, we got lots of things to eat right now, but why not just live off of the peas for a while? Because I can't get the tomatoes and things out there anyway. So we are absolutely going to do that. I'm going through the zucchini. Let me show you these zucchini. These I had a lot of luck with last year, and I really liked them. And I really liked the Concerta too. And then zucchini repicante. I don't know what these are. Those look old. The ones I really like are, oh my gosh. It'll have to come to me in a minute. I can't remember the name. But I like heartier zucchini. I like thicker zucchini. This is Cherville. Cherville is in the parsley family. It's an incredible plant, but these seeds I have had for a long time. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add these to our bag of just starting baby greens. It was a baby greens mix. It was like a ton of them I bought by weight. And I actually have some Cherville growing already. So we'll put a few on the table here and start them. Cherville tastes like, it's in the parsley family. It tastes like licorice. Actually tastes like licorice. It's one of the coolest plants ever. I'm a huge, huge fan of it. I think I'm going to grow them on my harvest wall and do them on there. All right. Another one that's empty. And watercress. If you're not familiar with watercress is incredible. So beneficial for health and wellness. I saw some earlier. And it is amazing on a tower. And once you get it started, you can just take clippings and start them from the clippings. I have a reel on that. If you go back into some of my content, you can find that. All right, I had some watercress, but I don't know where it's at. All right, if we find that, we'll put it in here. And what we're doing, if you're just hopping on, is we're getting our seeds ready for the season. Welcome, guys. Purple Chinese spinach grows great. I've never seen purple bok choy. Yeah, purple bok choy. One of my favorite. Purple lady bok choy. I grow a lot of those. Those are absolutely, by far, one of my favorite. All right, so here, we can definitely clean out some herbs, sadly. Dock bloody, I don't like it. It's in the sorrel family. See, I'm going to say I don't like it. No, I'm going to force myself to grow it because we're going to grow that. because I should like it. Dandelion root. You can grow dandelion. Tamarillo. These are a dwarf tamarillo. That's a fruit. I'm actually going to start those. Chamomile does great on the towers. Fenugreek, nasturtium are beautiful. Echinacea, yarrow.
Huh? That on?
No, I didn't know it was on. Stevia. I have a lot of these started. Horehound, this one's really nice. I'm going to take all of these and do a whole separate herb section. And I'm going to start all of these for the permaculture garden. I put in a permaculture perimeter food forest last year, and so these are all going to go get started for that. All right, welcome if you're just hopping on. Do you like the Asian long green beans? I saw them for the first time last year, draped over a fence. It was actually pretty. They're very long. I do like them. I don't love them. So if you do them, they grow a ton, and they're amazing in stir-fried. They are not amazing to eat raw, and they're basically stir fries. The only thing they're not amazing boiled. They get big and tough really fast. Here's Red Giant mustard. Those are old, so we're gonna dump those in there. Mizuna, we'll start some of that right now. So yeah, I think they're so fun and they're worth it. Don't devote all of that to say, I would not devote an enormous amount of space to them. But they are great to have if you want to, have fun with them. All right, let's see, what else do we have here? Oh, these are fun, guys. Let me show you these. These are really great. I'm missing a whole container. Coriander comes from cilantro, right? And so when you buy cilantro, is that what this case is? Cilantro and dill. When you buy cilantro, one thing to be mindful of is if you don't do slow bolt, if you buy something that says coriander, it's going to bolt really fast. It's designed to go to seed really fast, so you get coriander. So I did that on purpose. We'll start those actually. Those are kind of old. All right, I'm gonna pull, let me show you something really, really cool here. We've got, this container is for fennel, cilantro, and dill. And so I've got cilantro, dill, fennel. We're gonna start the fennel. We're gonna start all of those. The fennel are gonna do better in your harvest wall. They do okay in a tower. These are radish. Actually, we're going to start all these radish too. Purple radish, black radish. These are incredibly nutritious, like next level nutrition. So get your hands on some black radish because they are really good. Linda, I harvested 2 heads of cabbage today from my garden outside making stuffed cabbage rolls. That is amazing. There is nothing more rewarding, is there, guys? Like when you harvest your own food, I swear there is just nothing like it. It is the absolute most rewarding feeling ever. All right, we've got some basil here. And so I've kind of switched, guys, how I do my lettuce. You guys know I heavily seed my lettuce, and then I do some heads. I'm going to start all of these. These are all pretty old. And so for the heads of lettuce, I've just got my few favorite now, and they're usually in the iceberg. I like that Pablo, which is an iceberg, and I like butterhead lettuce. And so everything else I'm just heavily seeding. So even all these tower garden seeds, I will take all of these in like 4 packages and cover 6 rock wool with them just to it gets rid of the seeds, and they're just so good. Arugula, like there's not enough seeds in here to do much with. We can probably thin a lot of these out actually. We'll go ahead and start the arugula, heavily seeded. and all this lettuce heavily seeded. These I do like. This bib lettuce is really great. Single. All right, I think we did it, guys. I think we got, the only thing I can't find is basil. I'm not seeing my basil. And for some reason, the beans got mixed in with the Swiss chard. Let me show you some unique things we're gonna do this year. We have spinach. I know I have a whole container just for basil. Collards, basil, here we go. Do you guys know where my melons went? Yellow squash, cabbage. Okay, so this is our moringa. Black radish. Yes, black radish are incredible. Yes, most of my outside gardens have shade cloth over them. Yeah, I'm doing raised beds this year. I've had them, but they aren't set up effectively. So I'm getting those. Actually, one of the moms we're building a home for, the single mom, she does permaculture stuff. And so I'm hiring her to come fill my beds for me because she needs work and I need help. And that is a win-win. I'm going to get rid of all my collards. They are all, except for this one, older. And so she's going to come help me do my hugel beds. And then next year, I don't plan on putting more than like 1 or 2 towers in the garage. I'm going to do the harvest walls in the garage. I'm going to do a high tunnel this year. And then you can keep the high tunnels warm. And I'm just going to extend my cool weather crops and start my crops early. Can't find dates on Tower Garden seed packs. Yeah, they're fine. If they're not opened, the Tower Garden seed packs will last you through the apocalypse because they are Mylar. So if they are opened, that's going to change it, but they have a seal too. Your Tower Garden seeds will last a really long time. I'm just using them up because I have too much stuff in my life. We're de-stuffing. I mean, look at all, these are all lettuce, guys. This is crazy. I thought we were done, and now here we go. Okay, so let's talk about some of these. What we're gonna do is, like I said, we're putting them in a jar behind you guys, and I'm gonna take this jar out to my raised bed next week and heavily sow all these seeds into my raised bed, and whatever comes up, we will eat as baby greens until they're not good anymore. And then I'll just let the roots compost down, so that'll feed the soil and we won't feel like we've wasted. Oh, romaine, organic park tricolor romaine. I don't even know if I have a lettuce container, to be honest. Let's see. We're gonna make a little pile of lettuces we do want to keep. And bush beans. I've been wanting to get organized here for a long time. These are the green beans I'm keeping, but I don't even see a green bean container. So we'll put these over to the side. We've got a parsley container. We've got a cucumber. These are cucumbers. So anything I can't find, I'm just kind of setting off to the side. And this is what we're going through now. So I'm also going to grow, look at these. I like to grow unique things, really just for shock and awe on social media and to try new foods. These are eggplant. Are those not the coolest thing? They're supposed to produce like 5 bazillion eggplants. So we're going to do those. I haven't even seen my eggplant. We need to see what we need in the way. This is a Salanova pelleted lettuce I shared earlier, if you're just hopping on. Pelleted seeds that are covered in clay. They don't last very long. Mini romaine, we're gonna start those right now. So with those, I'm just going ahead and sticking them in this pile here, and hopefully they'll start out in the garden. I have a cattle panel high tunnel. That is it, Linda, that's amazing. I went back and forth with building one, and I might still, but I found a company that'll come. Justin Rhodes had it on their channel. They'll come put it together for you. And my life, the way it is, you know, we're still building tiny homes for people that I think, we'll see, because I'm not doing it until I'm saving now And my goal is to get it up by September. And so that is the goal. Saving until September. And if 4 seasons, these are so fabulous. If I can afford it then to buy one, we'll see. Otherwise, yeah, I've looked up those plans. It's so good. I'm going to ask federal judge to seize your site. Okay, whatever you're talking about, Gabriel. I have no idea who you are. I'll do that. Thank you. The cattle panel, wait till the end near June and put them out permanent. What did I miss? What are we going to put out permanent? Oh, yeah, these... Teresa. Okay, so Teresa, sorry guys, I'm not paying attention. Yeah, you can wait things to go out. You can start seeds and then put them out. Here's what happens. One thing that can happen. These are the old Tower Garden seeds before they were in Mylar. If you start a spring garden, and this happens in my garage because it gets really cold in here. When it gets really cold and then it gets a warm day and then it gets really cold, your spring plants bolt really quickly. So actually spring gardens turn over quite fast. So just a heads up on that. I'm going to put food outside in the next week and some of it's going to bolt pretty quick. It's just those first... or that's how it is in our area. It's just those first few months are like that. And then it stabilizes and things are fine. But they do not like that back and forth. They don't like that back and forth. There's that Pablo I shared. This does amazing. I really like the Pablo lettuce. We're going to start some of those. They do really great. Bell peppers. It is definitely early for bell peppers. I want a tiny house so bad in a big garden in the back. Teresa, go for it. Tiny houses are amazing. We have a small house, not tiny. When my kids are gone, I would love, there's this area. It's actually where we did John's tiny home. The area he lives in is just it's not far from here. It's only 30 minutes from me. But I really love that mountain over there. So I was thinking, little tiny house near the water. Not close to the water, like up on the hill. I have potatoes, lettuce, and collards out already. Oh my gosh, where are you, Thistle Moon Farm? Where are you at? Potatoes was way early here for that for me. Collards I could do. Raising here in north central Florida. I was out in my cattle panel greenhouse planting seeds. Love it, Carolyn. My friend is over in Orlando and she was sharing, she does Tower Gardens now. She has a bunch of them and she was sharing hers. I have this growing, this Chadwick's. This is really good. And I just forgot, like you guys are like in the thick of growing right now. You guys have beautiful weather for growing food right now. Strawberries for the first time. Katie, I am going to do a bunch of strawberries this year too. That will be so amazing. Strawberries are the best. So I'm going through all my old lettuce seeds right now and we are just getting organized. It's looking so good. This has been weighing on me for a long time. It's been making me a bit crazy. So I'm feeling super blessed to hang out with you guys and to get this done. Let's see here. Most of these seeds I'm just dumping. If you don't know what I'm doing, behind you is a glass jar. And I'm taking all my old lettuce seeds and dumping them in there. And we're just going to do a baby greens mix that's going to go into a raised bed outside. And get a good harvest out of these. And then start fresh. Because these are old original Tower Garden seeds. They don't even package them like this anymore. And I want to start fresh. I got the new catalog. I'll show you guys the new Baker Creek catalog. And I know some people have Baker Creek issues because they kind of lied. I'm willing to forgive them because I love them. I love their seeds. What they did is they said it. They had a purple tomato. It was on the cover of their, I have the book. I have the magazine. It was on the cover of their paid catalog. And it turns out that particular is not an heirloom because they're known for heirloom seeds. It was a modified seed and people did not appreciate that, obviously. So I'm just hoping we learned our lesson. We were down to 35 patches of frost yesterday. We were too, Carolyn. We were freezing here yesterday. Last 2 days, 3 days, it's been so cold. That's why I didn't think we would ever get to gardening. But it looks like for the next 2 weeks, we're going to be doing good. These are so beautiful. Look at that. Let's start. Butter Crunch is my favorite. I bought 4 grapevines, 2 blackberries, 2 raspberries, 2 goji berries. I started my strawberries last year. Amazing. That is amazing. I don't know if you guys saw my YouTube. I put in a perimeter food forest. I have food forests around the property, like little clusters. I put in a perimeter food forest against this wall, and we did blackberries, raspberries, goji berry, pears, service berry, apples, and blueberries. But I'm going to add pawpaws in there, and I'm going to add like wild spinaches and all these herbs seeds that I have, and we are just going to make the most abundant. And I will put some strawberries in there too. I'm so excited about that perimeter food forest wall. It is going to be amazing. Mushroom logs are my favorite. Yeah, I've got mushroom logs going. We did about 50 logs this winter. I do have a YouTube I'm editing. I need to get that out, actually. Totally forgot about that. This hurricane has still got me backed up on content, sharing with you guys. Look at this. Chinese narrow leaf lettuce. A bolt resistance, fast growing romaine. Those look unique. There's only like 4 seeds. I think we'll start those. All right, there's more. I must have been in the mood for those because I got a few of those. We'll save that one. All right, I think we did it. We went through every seed package. Now we just need to, let me show you how they get stored. And I'll show you the catalog. And I did get my Totally Tomato catalog in. And I might go take a break after this and sit down and have a green juice and go through these amazing seed catalogs and pick out what we're gonna grow this year. Anything new? I really want to hone in on my tomatoes. If you guys know of a tomato that is like the paste tomato that grows crazy amounts of tomatoes, post it in the comments. I saw the Elliott Homestead. She had some incredible tomatoes. Like they just grew so many. I'm doing all my own tomato sauce this year. I'm like 1000% committed. It needs to happen. So if you guys know of any, let me know. All right, I'm going to put these on here. I'll show you what I'm doing behind you. All right, these are the containers. You can find them on Amazon. They're for photos. And I printed little labels. I have a YouTube on this somewhere in the YouTube land. And I printed the labels and I kind of grouped them. I don't really organize them in alphabetical order or anything, but I did group some things like hot peppers. Don't go with sweet peppers based on how many seeds I typically use. I will keep the tomatoes together. Sometimes I'll group them with like greens on one side. I probably should do that. I'm not going to do that. Okay, those are the okra. All right, so then you just close it, and now I can go in. I've gone through. Oh, here's the eggplant. That was the only one I didn't go through that I wanted to make sure. And celery. I never found the celery. If you guys know where the celery is, let me know. Black raspberries. Yes, black raspberries grow wild here. They're absolutely amazing. I know of a tomato plant that really puts out, unfortunately, it's a hybrid. Yeah, I'm not opposed to hybrids. Hybrids aren't they're bred through people paying attention. And like, I like hybrids. I grow this little tiny cute cauliflower. They're this big. They're incredible. If I didn't grow those, cauliflower just takes so long on a tower. I wouldn't have cauliflower. So I'm good with hybrids for some things. So let me know the name. Yeah, the containers are great. Must separate the plants when growing the 2 varieties. What are you talking about with separating the plants? I have wild dewberries out back. Dewberries. Oh, I need to look up dewberries. I don't know what that is. Huh. You must separate peppers if you want to. Yeah, yeah. With different plants, they'll cross-pollinate. Peppers will cross-pollinate. Tomatoes will cross-pollinate. Squash, like zucchini and cucumbers will cross-pollinate, and pumpkins. So you can end up with like a kind of hybrid pumpkin-y cucumber weirdness if you're not careful. Okay, this is called a tomato, but it's actually, I think, more, it's a thorn plant. I view it more like an eggplant. It's supposed to be a tomato. We're going to put that in there with the huckleberries too, and we'll just see. Okay, these are old. I need all new eggplant. These are the only ones I have. And the black beauties, so we'll keep those, but we need to order eggplant for sure. Okay, so let me show you my other container. This one's full. Beautiful. I did the dark color so the light would be protected a little bit more. They make them in clear and they're probably a little prettier, but it doesn't protect from the light. Okay, hold tight. Let's get, where'd it go? Oh, here it is. All right, I'm coming back, guys. Sorry, hold on. All right. Here's the other empty one. And this is broccoli. These are great. These are the first ones to come up. These will do really well. I'm going to do these in a raised bed. Broccoli in towers just does not work for me very well here. It takes so long and they don't bloom right. So I'm kind of, I've given it 3 years. I think we can call it. And I'm just going to do the broccoli in my raised garden beds. This is a daikon radish that's going out in the raised beds too. This is in the radish family. So we got to find those. Oh, here you go. Radish. They're amazing. Oh my gosh, they are my favorite. One of my favorite foods is that. Unfortunately, they can't grow in the towers. I have the clear, but put them in black bin. Oh, that's smart. Yeah. Love. I love yellow squash too. That is my favorite. Yeah. Okay. So San Marzanos. Carolyn, thank you. I think that's what she's growing over at the Elliott Homestead. I'm pretty sure that's what her YouTube said. San Martanzos. I'll look those up. These are my cucumbers. Market more. I don't know if you guys have ever grown these. I grew the snake cucumbers last year. These are a permaculture. I don't know if I'll grow them in my tower again. They do way better in the permaculture. But these are Armenian cucumbers. Those do really well as well. And then the market more on the towers were the winners of the year. If you've got a trellis, the market more were so fabulous. They did so great. All right, we got spinach here, which we decided we're going to start. We got our mustards. That's endive. Tomatoes. We've got our dwarfed. We've got our sweet peppers. This is a great company, Pepper Joe's. All my peppers that I'm growing indoors, they are from Pepper Joe's, and I've been really happy. My peppers are over 2 years old now. I think leaning more like 2.5. We have cilantro dill, dwarf tomatoes, turnips, unique greens, kale. I'm missing some containers. Swiss chard. We're missing 3 containers. 1, 2, and 3. What is this? Parsley. Okay. So then the last thing I need to do, these are melons. I need to figure out where that goes. Beets, need to figure out those. Actually, we can start some beets. I'm going to start these on the harvest wall. I bet they're going to do amazing on the harvest wall. Lettuce, carrots, green beans, celery, cucumber, and lettuce. All right, these are the newest seeds I just got from True Leaf. These are also my bulk seeds. So you guys know I do. Oh, I just read it backwards. Not a big deal. He's take a picture. Oh, sorry guys if you can't see what I'm doing because of the mirror image. I do grow yellow squash, container cucumbers. Container cucumbers do great. They burn out fast, Regina. They come and they go fast. So just know what you're dealing with. Okay, so the cucumbers, it'll say like 20, it'll bloom fruit 20 so-and-so. So read the package or read the catalog about it, because that's the problem, is they just come and go super fast and then you need to start them over. These are all my bulk seeds, guys. So I get these at True Leaf, and you guys know I start my seeds really heavily seeded. I'll take you on a tour in a minute to see my seed starts. This I just keep like this. So this is everything I grow in bulk. I started doing parsley this way. I started doing all my cilantro this way. So this is my cilantro. I grow it all in bulk, heavily, heavily seeded. I've just found that to be the best way. Okay, this is the new stuff we got. Do you know what I didn't see? Any cabbage. I didn't see any Emiko cabbage. We need to start some cabbage. Collards, cabbage. I must not have gone through all of these. Okay, so here's the green beans. Some of these are old. Those can go. Put the green beans away. I'll show you guys the new stuff I just got. I have not ordered seeds yet. I'm going to do that tonight. I just wanted to go through first. Collards, hot peppers, cabbage, herbs, winter squash, yellow squash, green beans, peas. I don't have a melons container. How is that possible, friends? How is that possible? Unique greens, turnip, kale, parsley. All right, we're going to put the melons in with the winter squash. These are watermelons and jelly melons. The jelly melons were so incredible last year. I was a huge fan of the jelly melons. We've got cucumber here. Cucumber anywhere? Okay. What are the best cucumbers for the tower? I only have one flex. Are you growing outside? Regina, you're growing indoors, aren't you? Cucumbers are finicky inside. I really liked the piccolini. I'm going to start some of those. And then I have this bush crop from, I know you guys can't see that, from Totally Tomato. I'm pretty sure that bush crop doesn't, you want a cucumber that doesn't have to be pollinated. The piccolini is only at Johnny's Seeds. And I think, look up piccolini cucumber. That is the one that I'm a real big fan of. Cherville. Okay, we've got beets. Do I have a beets? Man, some of these, no wonder why I had a mess. I think some of them were just out and about. Sweet peppers, fennels, uniques, kales, Swiss chard, sweet melons. Here's the sweet melons. Hey, caramba, guys. We're getting organized. This hurricane wrecked my brain. It wrecked my brain. These seeds have been sitting out here all winter and all spring since the hurricane. Like, that was the last time I touched anything. So hopefully they're still good. I think they're fine. We did get rid of a lot. Cress, green beans, peas, herbs, cabbage, eggplant, basil, squash, spinach. Okay, we don't have a beets container. That's interesting. I don't have a celery container. So we'll put the celery in with the Serville. I don't even have a lettuce container. The lettuce can kind of slide in the front here. All right, let me show you what I just got. I I don't have a carrots because I don't do a lot with carrots. These are amaranth. Those are all going to go in the main garden. So I'm just going to put some of these random things here in the front. All right, endive. We wanted to go through the cabbage. I consider endive a cabbage. So if you, I don't know how we don't have a beets container because we grow a lot of beets. We'll put the beets in here and hopefully we'll remember. So endive, I consider it is a bitter. It's so healthy for you. I'll show you what it looks like. I have a bunch of them right now. They're so unbelievable. We did not go through the cabbage and there's old stuff in here for sure. So let's clean these out. What I'm doing, if you're just hopping on, anything that is older is getting tossed in. Will it take up a lot of space in the tower? Not a dwarf cucumber. A pot cucumber won't. But Regina, they are finicky. I planted some dill and I've gotten down, and it's gotten downright invasive. Yeah, dill will get big. Oh, Regina, the cucumbers are just, sometimes people have great success indoors and sometimes people do not. And so it's, to me, it's like, is it worth the real estate? Do you have real estate to give to that? Or could you grow something like a kohlrabi that you might like that does grow really well? Or maybe one of those tiny cauliflowers do really well. They're the hybrid baby cauliflower. I get more out of those because they know they will grow versus like fighting a cucumber. But you can definitely try it. Look at this giant cabbage. Why did I buy that? I don't know. I don't have a garden for that. These are all gone. These can all go. Yeah, so that's kind of, I always go back to, I don't fight plants when I'm growing indoors. I'm just looking at what's growing right now behind you guys. Kohlrabi does amazing. Baby cauliflower does amazing. Spinach doesn't, so I don't fuss with it. Cilantro does amazing. Lettuce, kale, turnips do really well for me. So I just kind of lean into those things when I'm growing indoors. If you're growing outside, that's a whole different story. I grow the little baby bush cucumbers all the time outside. I have just switched to regular cucumbers because you get so many more and consistently. So it's just a little bit more food. The hybrid baby cauliflower, Regina, I originally got them on Totally Tomato, so check Totally Tomato. But since then, I have had to Google it a few times. Let me see if I can find my seed package. Hold on. I'll look it up for you. I should have some. I might have started all them. The only thing with the cauliflower is they're kind of expensive seeds, and I do go through them a lot. So they take about 50 to 60 days from seed to harvest. So they're 40 days on the tower, so they're fast. I have some on my harvest wall here. And I don't have any, actually. I went through the cauliflower already. And I've just found them to be such a joy. Where regular cauliflower, it takes like 5 months. And at the end of the day, some of them are great and some of them aren't. And that's a long time for a crop that might be okay. Now, I still do it because I create content and I have 13 towers. So I will absolutely, the ones I'm going to grow on my tower, I'm going to grow these, all 3 of these. These are Purple of Sicily, Durgess 41, and the Purple of Sicily. I will grow those, but I have the real estate. So when we're talking about one tower, just like lean in to, oh, here, this one's good. This is so perfect. Muncher cucumber. I bought this as a small, they're a diseased, resistant hardy vine with long harvest window of 8 to 9 inch long fruits. Grown for its thin skin and low acidic cucumber, ideal for slicing. I bought these because they're supposed to do well, like on a tower. But I don't remember why. It doesn't say. And then radicchio. I used to call it radicchio. I don't know what I call it. It's radicchio. It is a bitter, and it's really great. All right, let me show you this. I'm going to show you my starts. I'll take you guys on a tour of my starts. Where did I put the cucumbers now? Cucumbers. Some people plant in April and are able to have a crop by the time I start my full garden. Teresa, I've lost my plants to frost too many times, unfortunately. Yeah. I do have a small hothouse. Yeah, okay, here, you guys want to know the rule of thumb when you can plant in the ground? Yeah, toss them on a walking paths. Dave, I'm tossing them in a jar behind you, and then I'm gonna go just spread them in a raised garden bed, and whatever comes up, we'll eat as baby greens, and the rest can decompose, like compost back into the soil. All right, we did it. We got organized. This is amazing. Let me show you what I pulled to start. We'll go through that, and then I'll show you what I've already started. I have a lot of food started. I just don't have any clean towers, which is a sad thing. All right. These are ready. So these are my 2 containers full. There's some chervil seeds here. We're going to start those. Got 2 containers organized. These are all my bulk seeds for lettuce. This is how I grow my greens and some of my herbs. And then let me show you what we pulled. We pulled quite a bit, actually. All right. The late Nagasaki grows amazing inside. If you guys want to take notes. I'm in elevation Appalachia Plateau. Also, the weather stays cooler longer. Yeah, I'm at 2,400, 2,300 in Appalachia. So probably not as high as you. Some people plan. Okay, if I missed any of your comments, sorry guys. I'm actually like working while we're hanging out. Okay, if you want to take any notes, let's go through these. This is Nagasaki. Late Nagasaki comes from Baker Creek. Grows amazing inside. Grows fabulous outside, but I have found it grows really well inside. Last year we planted blocky cauliflower Brussels sprouts for the first time. Yeah, it's not enough return. Thistle Moon Farm, I'm with you. I don't mess with Brussels sprouts. They just take forever and a bazillion years. What I found for cauliflower is there's a hybrid. It's called a baby H2 hybrid. It's called baby cauliflower. It's like H1 or H2 or something. And even though it's a hybrid, not, we love the heirlooms, but it grows these baby cauliflower heads. And I've got them here on my harvest wall, and they grow on the towers, and they are so fabulous, and they grow in like 40 days once you get them into past the seedling phase. They have been huge. All right, so we're gonna do the Nagasaki cabbage for indoors. I'm making little piles. That's gonna go on the tower. We've got this Chinese narrow leaf lettuce. I'm gonna do that on my outside tower. I'm gonna do some butter crunch outside. I'm gonna do some Pablo on the harvest wall. That's in it. It's Pablo lettuce is like red and green iceberg. It does so good. I'm gonna do some beets. These are the Cylindra beets, so they're longer and skinnier. I'm gonna do those on the harvest wall. Root vegetables do really well on the harvest wall. Lettuce, prize head. I'm gonna heavily seed some of this lettuce. This is the Shanghai green bok choy. Those will go on the tower. Endive, I'm always growing endive. I will do some for both. I'm gonna do some inside and out. Amaranth, this is like a wild spinach. This kind of grows and you can cut it and let it, like you can eat off of this. So we're gonna put that on the tower. I don't find you can eat off your wall very well. It is more of like a grow it, take it off, start over kind of setup. There's more of those Pablo. We'll do those. Merlot cabbage. So I wanted to do some Emiko cabbage, but I don't see any. But this Merlot Chinese cabbage, there's not many, but those are like the Emiko Chinese cabbage. Those are gonna go on the tower garden. Mini romaine, I'm gonna do on the tower garden. I have no idea why this is out. I don't wanna do that right now. The Golden Beauty, these do amazing on the towers, not so much on the harvest wall. So we'll put one of those. Purple Lady Bok Choy, absolutely incredible outside on the towers or inside. This is the Suzhou Baby Bok Choy. Yeah, amaranth was considered a grain of the gods. This is amaranth spinach. So it's a little different. It's not actually not amaranth that flowers as a grain. It's a spinach. It's a leaf. You can like roll it up, like make sushi. It's so great. Suho, baby. Chijimusai. You guys know I'm always growing Chijimusai if you've been here a while. We've got more of that Chinese cabbage. I don't need more of those. These are those bok choy, the milk ones. They're little small ones. I'm going to do those on my harvest wall. Small things do great on there. This is a granat Chinese cabbage. It grows really tall and lean. I do 2 seeds per rock wool. These do incredible on the harvest wall, on the tower outside. Not so much inside. Chinese yellow heart. I'm gonna grow these outside. Tot soy. This grew great on the harvest wall. So I think we'll grow those on the harvest wall. I'm gonna grow them outside. Basil leaf lettuce spinach. I love this. It's too early in the season. I don't know why I picked that. Radicchio. We'll start some radicchio for the harvest wall. Stinging nettle. We're gonna start some stinging nettle for the tower gardens. Yeah, I have amaranth grain to use as a ground cover. Oh, I love that. I have a bunch of amaranth seeds I want to try this year. This is the 4 Seasons lettuce, marvel, and mini romaine. I pulled a lot of lettuce, so we'll see if we get to those. I got bib lettuce here. We're not going to get to these. These tower lettuce are going to go over here for now. Because again, I told you your tower garden leaves, you can save those for the apocalypse because they're packaged properly. Your seeds that come from Victory Seeds, is that a normal statement? Save these for the apocalypse. Your Victory Seeds, they come in the same way, and Victory Seeds will last a really long time. Black radish, we're gonna grow these on the harvest wall. Purple radish, that's gonna be the harvest wall. These are Rudolph radish. Fennel and fennel, all of that's going to be harvest wall. Our coriander, I'm going to toss these into my permaculture garden actually. I'm just going to toss them right in. Mizuna, I'll start these for outside as baby greens. The tamarillo, it's a fruiting tree. It's like a little citrus, very sensitive. I'm going to get those started. I'm going to grow those on the harvest wall indoors, but I'm going to need to spend some time with that. Bloody dock. I'm going to just go toss these into my garden. I don't love it. It'll grow wild. We'll just toss them in. We've got our peas. We're going to get all of our peas started. We decided we're going to do 2 towers worth of peas. Why not? Truncuda kale. These are getting a little old, so I'm just going to make all of those. This is that giant kale that is going to be for my outdoor gardens. My onions are for my outdoor gardens. So we'll put these aside here. Salanova pelleted. We got more lettuce that needs to go. Kale. I don't need any of these. Piccolini. These are greenhouse cucumbers. We're going to start those for the harvest wall. We're going to start our Heartbreaker Dora Red for the harvest wall. Our Geranium Kiss. These are hanging basket varieties. Those will get started for the harvest wall. Gourds are going to get tossed out into the garden. What did I say I was going to toss into the garden, friends? I already forgot. Oh, the bloody dock and the coriander. We'll toss the gourds out into the garden. This is a Salanova Wheat Crisp. I might try some of these. We'll try some of those on the harvest wall. Gourds out in the garden. Salanova butter for the harvest wall, and I have some arugula. We can just stick that there. All right, let me go take you on a tour. This is the calibration. These have been really good, actually. I've been using these a lot. It's just a mix of kale, and I've had a lot of success with these. heavily seeding them for my towers, and they come up in like purples and greens and dark colors and curlies, and I don't know, they've been really great. I've never seemed to get radicchio to sprout. Seemed to not quick as a seed with just the held moisture. Yeah, okay, so Dave, the trick with radicchio, which is unfortunate because you can't buy a lot of the seeds, multi-seed them. So I start one rockwool with like 6, and then as they get bigger, I'll separate them. I do that with celery too. Anything that's kind of sensitive to start, I found that they just do better if they have a friend. Okay, so here's what we pulled, and we've got it organized. And this is actually my new kitchen table. It's got a drawer. I just need to sand it. Here's the towers. Doing amazing. Bok choy, or kohlrabi do so good inside. This green kohlrabi. That's the one you want. The purple get too big. But just so many beautiful. They're ready. Like you notice things are bolting. They're wanting to go to flower. Even the Swiss chard. It's just because it got hot, it got cold, it got hot, it got cold. Here's watercress. These towers. I cut my peppers back completely. Here's my gorgeous, look at how well these are doing. It took a hot minute to get my aloe to not be angry, but they are so beautiful now that they have adapted. It took them like 5 months to adapt to hydroponics. And sometimes they still want to fall out. You see how they're kind of drooping? I'll fix that in a minute. So I'll take rock wool and I'll push it on the top and just stabilize them. They are so great now. This is everything got cut back and is just ready to refresh. These are 2.5 years old now. This is oregano, and this is marjoram, and they'll come back. This is mess. Have a lot of that. All right, over here. Here's what I'm talking about, heavily seeding. You guys, if you follow me, I watered these so they're kind of drooping over, but they'll pop back up. These are heavily seeded crisp head. This is my heavily seeded cilantro. Everything's like blown over to the side. Heavily seeded kale. That's that calibration. These are endive. These are arugula and some lettuce. No idea. Some bok choys, some brassica stuff. Man, I was not gentle when I watered these, was I? I watered them with the hose. They'll perk back up. There we go. All right, and then, woo! There's my radicchio. And these are started in cubes. And so these I actually got from True Leaf. And True Garden. True Garden? Let me look at the tag. You can buy your starts. You can buy, here they are. True Garden, I'm pretty sure. Look them up online. So I'm just behind on life, and so I decided to treat myself to a few starts. I do that every year. I just try to be really particular with what I'm doing that with, because to buy lettuce for $2.50 is ridiculous. But something like radicchio that is hard to start, and I really am obsessed with the taste. I just bought these, and they were beautiful. And so we got those. I got some cabbages from him and some herbs, some rosemary. These are my parsley, kales. What do we have? Swiss chard, parsley. This is chervil. This is a pepper plant. This is a holy basil. Holy basil is so incredibly medicinal. This is something I don't even know. Kales. We got our purple bok choys here. Mizunas. You see how they're going to flower already? I haven't even gotten them in the ground, in the tower. Just picked those flowers right off. It just got hot, cold, hot, cold. They didn't like it. Arugula, sweet marjoram, chives, parsley. Trying to see if there's anything you guys might. Fennel. Got some fennel going over here and some more herbs. Canning a bunch. Yeah. Thistle moon. I fermented my kohlrabi. I grow it year round. It grows really well here in our climate year round. So I'm about to start a bunch of those. And it does amazing. Yeah. Yeah, Anthony remembers when I planted those. Yeah, weren't those aloe? That was like a long time ago. But they're doing fine now, and now they have babies. These are the pups, and so these are going to be hydroponic adapted. And so it won't be so much work next time. And so I'm going to start those little guys. Make the gourds into birdhouses. Yeah, I actually have some on my back porch. All right, guys, that was my little hangout, start siege with you guys. This is what's going on in the towers. I've been harvesting a bunch, been taking things out that are done for the season and just getting ready for the next wave. I'm excited to grow outside. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Look at all these beauties. Look at all the potential food right there. That is incredible. You can grow fennel on a tower, yes. I have a hard time with it growing indoors because my temperatures fluctuate so much in this garage, but I see people who grow beautiful fennel and get fennel bulbs indoors. And then I see some that can never get it to do anything but be leaves. So it's, you can give it a try for sure, but you can definitely grow it. I'm about to start some. All right, guys, have a beautiful night. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, you can try it, Regina. It's one of those things. I can tell you it grows, but your house and your environment may be different, and you just got to try. I can tell you some things won't, for sure. Like cauliflower is never going to grow inside a basement unless you do that baby cauliflower. Broccoli, not worth it. You'll just end up with greens that grow forever and ever and just turn into a giant mess. But something like fennel, yeah. People grow it and have amazing success, and then some people just can't get more than the greens. But the greens are amazing too, so you can definitely give it a try. All right, guys, see you soon.